Yep, that is the mood for the rest of the year, a little razzle in your dazzle. There are only 12 days left in 2022, and as this year ends, let us reflect on the experiences we've had and plan accordingly as 2023 approaches. Season's greetings from all of us here at the JIS. I'm Theodore Henry, your Jamaica Magazine host for today. Please stay with us. We have lots more coming up after the news.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, December 19, 2022. 5 Manchester families living in substandard conditions have received brand new homes just in time for Christmas. They are among the recipients of government's new social housing program, NSHP, and received their keys from Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Friday. 69-year-old Tesselyn Roach from the Freetown district is gifted with her 3-bedroom unit after a fire destroyed her former home 4 years ago, claiming the life of her 2-year-old granddaughter in the process. Another senior, 64-year-old Violet Johnson, whose daughter died earlier this year, will live with her 4 grandchildren in a 3-bedroom dwelling in Comfort Hall. A married couple from the Lancaster district, Telford and Yvonne Mitchell, also received a 1-bedroom house. And 2 single mothers in central Manchester each received a 3-bedroom house. They are Stacey Ann Stevens, a mother of 5 from Knockpatrick, and mother of 3, Nadaria Wood from Newhall.
And I'm not even happy for myself right now, I'm happy for my kids. Yes. That they can sleep in a comfortable house and have a roof over their head and know that it's the Christmas season and the time is cold. They don't have to feel no cold like what we're feeling in that one now.
Prime Minister Holness says he's heartened by all the recipients' neighbors who agreed that they were deserving of the housing assistance.
That is the ultimate sign of credibility of the program, where the people feel that the government acted in the right way. And at the end of the day, we are selecting the beneficiaries based upon their needs. And the people in the community whose tax dollars we are spending feel that the action was justified.
More than 100 farmers residing in Manchester's Maidstone and Wilderness districts and adjoining communities are benefiting from the rehabilitation of 2 farm roads in the areas. The Grasspiece and Backstreet farm roads were rehabilitated by the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, at a combined cost of $17 million. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Pernell Charles Jr., toured the districts on Thursday and formally opened the roads. He says this will allow greater market access for farmers within those districts.
We want the farmers of Manchester, and in particular farmers here with us today, to know that we are depending on you to make us break those records year after year after year.
Acting CEO of RADA Manchester, Winston Simpson, says the authority is committed to providing the necessary resources so that farmers can produce and contribute meaningfully to the country's GDP.
I am using this opportunity to encourage the farmers of Backstreet to make sure that this is not just for the walking purpose, but also to take out your produce. And we want to see production and productivity increase in this area.
The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, will be embarking on a public education campaign to sensitize Jamaicans about the new series of printed banknotes launched last week. BOJ Deputy Governor Natalie Haynes says a full communication program will get underway during the transition period. It will include meetings with focus groups such as market vendors, bus and taxi operators, and users of cash on a large scale.
It's going to be an education process for the Jamaican people, because I can tell you the current banknotes that can be folded or crushed, when those are redeemed to Bank of Jamaica, we have to destroy them, because those notes will not adhere to our clean note policy to reissue to the public. So again, that is what is causing the increase in cost. For the polymer, we encourage, and the communication program will be there, do not crush and do not fold and do not put graffiti on the banknotes. That's a thing that we have been pushing from ever since.
According to Ms. Haynes, it costs approximately $1.4 billion annually to reprint banknotes. The Deputy BOJ Governor says that factoring the readiness of banks and retrofitting of ATM machines, the phasing out of the old banknotes could take between 1 and 2 years. She's therefore emphasizing that when the new notes are put into circulation next year, both old and new banknotes will operate as legal tender.
As the commercial banks redeem the old notes to us, we will not be reissuing. So we're giving people over time. We don't want everybody to rush to the commercial banks or to Bank of Jamaica to exchange. So it's going to take some time until we take that decision to say, yay, no longer legal tender. And of course, for it not to be legal tender, we have to go through a process in terms of the gazetting and so.
The Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC, has secured $31.7 million in compensation on behalf of aggrieved consumers for the first 8 months of the 2022-23 fiscal year. Chief Executive Officer of the CAC, Dulcie Allen, says of the total, $2.8 million was obtained due to the success of 3 cases in the Small Claims Court. She adds that for the period April to November 2022, the CAC resolved 701 complaints from a total of 1,029, giving the agency a 68.2% resolution rate. Mrs. Allen outlined the major categories of complaints received during a recent JIS think tank.
The category of electrical equipment and appliances is always in the top 3. This year, for the first 8 months, we had other services, which include things like medical, computers. Here, a lot of persons are buying here, and we have challenges, a lot of complaints come in where that is concerned.
The CAC's Chief Executive Officer says the Commission remains committed to protecting consumers.
If it is that you have been wronged in the marketplace, we would love to know that we're able to give you, if it is a justifiable claim, really, that you're able to get your redress.
And finally, the Jamaican government has enlisted the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, to help develop assessments for roughly 24,000 students enrolled in the 6th Form Pathways program. Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams made the disclosure during Friday's CXC Employee Appreciation Awards ceremony and luncheon held at the Courtly Hotel in New Kingston.
I continue to be just delighted when I hear of the plans that you have, plans especially with our 6th Form Pathways program to help us in terms of creating exams for those students as well, CXC exams. And I know that it will be a really welcome accomplishment or achievement when that happens.
Registrar and CEO of the CXC, Dr. Wayne Wesley, says the Commission is now engaged in revamping its qualification management structure and re-engineering its assessment and recognition framework to be more responsive to the needs of the education system.
I see Jamaica moving with their alternative pathway program, a commendable program, yes. And CXC is putting systems in place to respond to that new dimension, that new era.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
I head to Washington to have meetings with the Justice Department, the FBI, and other entities there to start the process of getting a more intense cooperation in treating with the foreign actors in our local crime. Those dons, those who have migrated overseas, that in this season they will be sending the bag of rice and all the other goodies in the barrel. But secreted in that bag of rice, wrapped up in that blanket, will be a gun or ammunition or parts thereof. Not for your benefit, but to give to a youngster to kill. They can't feel that they are free to influence, direct, solicit, and finance crime in Jamaica. I am serious. If you are overseas and you are sponsoring, directing, soliciting, or financing crime in Jamaica, we're going to get you.
The Integrated Community Development Project, ICDP, has been on a mission to improve the living conditions of people residing in select economically and socially volatile communities across Jamaica. Take a look.
A place to call home, blooming with opportunities for growth and progress. The Integrated Community Development Project ICDP, implemented by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund JSIF and funded by a loan made available by the World Bank, has laid the foundation and has put in the work to create this environment in selected economically vulnerable and socially volatile communities in Jamaica.
We've targeted 18 communities through the ICDP, and we believe that we've done a significant transformation in these communities. We engage the community-based organization. They become registered as a legal entity. They sign financing agreements to implement the projects. It allows communities and the residents to see that their leaders can be accountable, their leaders can be effective, and their leaders have the capacity to build their own future.
The ICDP has played a major role in facilitating the cleanup and beautification of community communal spaces.
Solid waste management was prioritized by the residents in the communities as one of those areas that need to be addressed in order to get true transformation of the communities. We have seen significant improvements in the cleanliness of the communities and sustainable disposal of waste, including burning and dumping in the gullies, has decreased significantly.
Working as an environmental warden, we pick up the garbage, we store it where we're supposed to put it, and we talk to the resident in the community, said, you must not throw the rubbish on the road. You just put them in one bag and put them at the drum that JSIF provided.
The Safe Passages, Safe Routes to School initiative seeks to improve public safety by providing safe passage to approximately 5,500 student commuters who travel daily along specific routes.
When we came into the communities, we saw a number of issues. The students were walking in the street, they were competing with different cars, there were a number of accidents along the route, and so we definitely knew that we needed to do an intervention here.
It was really difficult because when cars were passing, we have to be walking over the bushes.
For the Yorktown project, approximately 450 meters of guardrails were installed, approximately 450 meters of sidewalk was actually constructed. We also had road safety signs installed along the way, pedestrian crossings. We also have murals. We also did a bus stop.
We can walk safely, the railings protect us from the cars.
The ICDP has strengthened the capacity of schools to deliver quality education and support services of the highest quality.
We made sure that we were able to provide different kinds of manipulative learning aids, books, textbooks, 3D equipment. We partnered with the Ministry of Education, particularly the core curriculum unit, to ensure that the teachers received the requisite training that they needed.
It was very good, very enlightening, and I was able to bring across that training to the subject areas that I teach.
It has helped us so much in the classroom. We have been able to practically demonstrate using the manipulatives that we have gotten from JSIF.
A lot of our achievements, whether for literacy, numeracy, or the whole holistic development, as well as the ambience of our school, is because of JSIF.
The ICDP also provided much-needed support to small business operators facing economic challenges through its Enterprise Development Grants.
The Enterprise Development Grant component saw funding being channeled to 170 micro-enterprises across 7 communities. And these enterprises benefited from equipment supplies. They also got business development training.
I received a stitch and surge and I receive a straight stitch, and I receive a cutter. It changed my life that I can do my things on time. And I can employ more people that can make you earn more.
The story of ICDP is a story of transformation, not only in terms of the physical environment, but also some of the non-visible things like the transformation of the people and how they collaborate to produce and to contribute towards their own development.
JZIP is an organization that comes to help poor people. You are so good to us, JZIP. We love you, JZIP.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come here. Take time running, because we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now me block. Cyber take about your laptop, pull up every lock, no evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. Sin you say scam, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Please say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit, look out fit. From you say scam, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Please say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit, look out fit.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
Without this organ working as it should, it would be much harder for you to get the message I'm trying to deliver right now. Harder but not impossible. The ears are complex systems that not only allow us to receive sound waves and therefore hear, but they also have the important function of allowing us to maintain balance. How we treat them determines how they treat us. So in this next feature, we learn about how best to practice safe listening.
Hey there! So I recently came across a post from the World Health Organization, and I'm just here assuming that, like me, you're also looking for ways to take care of yourself, right? Well, let's hope so. The post read, 1 in 2 young people is at risk of hearing loss. So here goes. This is what I learned about safe listening habits. How do you even know when noise is damaging your hearing? There are easy tells, and most likely you've experienced one, if not all. You have to raise your voice to talk to other people. You cannot hear what people nearby are saying. It hurts your ears. You have ringing. Did you hear that? Okay, back to what I was saying. If you have ringing in your ears or muffled hearing afterwards, the noise is quite possibly loud enough to damage your hearing. So, what can you do? Keep the volume down. Do not listen to music at more than 60% of the maximum volume. Do not use earphones or headphones for more than an hour at a time. Take a break for at least 5 minutes every hour. Use earplugs in noisy places. Also, if you're in a noisy environment, try to take a break every 15 minutes. Give your hearing about 18 hours to recover after exposure to lots of loud noise. Limit time spent on loud activities. Monitor sound levels using mobile apps. And finally, check your hearing regularly. We oftentimes drown our listening habits in the noise and the vibe, but as you just learned, it takes very little to take care of our hearing health. And that's it. Easy, simple, and done. Happy hearing.
Let us resolve our family disputes peacefully. A family is a circle of love, support, and strength. Violence has no place.
In this next feature, we learn how best to utilize the little space we have to produce food, even for those of us living in an urban environment.
Urban gardening is the cultivation of vegetables, fruits,
aromatic plants and herbs in an enclosed space or your backyard. It's an ideal way for those with little space to participate in the process of food production, saving money while feeding themselves. Practical application is one of the best methods of imparting new knowledge. The Jamaica 4-H Clubs ran with that concept when it set up an urban garden display project at 123 Duke Street in downtown Kingston.
This project was born out of the COVID pandemic, where we recognize that food production has to become everybody's business. Traditionally, most of our food in Jamaica is cultivated in rural areas. We believe that even if you are in a dormitory community without land space, we believe that there's still an opportunity for you to produce. In this urban model, you would realize that we are demonstrating how you can do air planting, how you can do planting on your fence line, how you can produce food in different medium. And so we are utilizing a fully integrated approach from collecting your own water, by generating your own nutrient within the urban garden model setting, to be able to produce the food that you will eat.
There are a few vital things that plants need to grow. These include sunlight, proper temperature, moisture, air, and nutrients.
One of the basic pieces of technology inside our urban model garden is to demonstrate rainwater harvesting. From your roof, you're collecting your water, not only your roof, but just anywhere there's a runoff, because it could be a runoff underground. And what you want to do is to be able to have some storage capacity.
In the 4-H urban garden, the water is stored underground to ensure there is more available space on the surface. Of course, your environment will determine the most effective setup for your system.
One of the good things about Jamaica, other than when we have night, we always have sunlight. There are some plants that requires a lot more lighting than others. And so one of the things we demonstrate or we share with urban gardeners is where you put what. So there are some plants that you can do indoors. There are some plants that will strive and do better if they were to be grown outdoor. Whether you're using container, you're using your fencing, you're using backyard, front yard, or your rooftop. Another feature that is demonstrated here is composting. To my right is our composting area, and we have a roto-composting bin, as well as we have a regular bin. And in fact, just about all the vegetative matter and the waste from the birds and the animals across there are in fact all placed into our composters, and that is broken down to provide organic matter. Because again, your soil needs that for aeration, it needs it to add humus, and that's what is going to allow your plants to grow well.
And all this can be done in your own space. Livestock is another avenue you can choose in your urban gardening. Rabbit rearing is an excellent source of protein, and it doesn't require much space. You can also use the plants in the garden to feed them. Other animals can be included, such as chicken and fish.
We do a lot of different birds here. You can do your ornamental fish, you can do your tilapia, and you can also do your domestic hens. Because that's something we are also promoting, is to get back to those domestic hens for eggs and meat. There are many things you can do in terms of livestock. It's almost as diverse as you're going for crops.
To replicate this model in your urban space, speak with your Jamaica 4-H Club's parish officer. You can receive seeds and other planting material to get you started.
One of the biggest threats right now in the world is not war or COVID, is really to have a sustainable supply of food. And the view is that no longer can we only rely on the traditional food producer. I think food production has to become everybody's business. And I think the extent to which we are able to get all our people to produce some of what you will consume, I think is one of the greatest steps we can take in looking at the phenomenon of food sustainability.
A strategy the Jamaica 4-H Society has started to aid in maintaining sustainable food within communities. And if you haven't begun the process in your space yet, you can start now.
I'm Chef Martin McGinley, Executive Chef at Round Hill Resort and Spa. And I started cooking at 15 and I've continued to cook now. So that's close to 35 years now. My main focus is LCCC, Light, Clean, Caribbean Cuisine. That's what I stand by, that's what we look for, and that's what we demonstrate here at Round Hill. A lot of clients who come here, they know what they come for. You know, they come for a lifestyle. They come to eat the purest food, they come to relax. So our expectations are very high. Well, Jamaica has the big bold flavors. You know, we have the Scotch bonnet, you have the jerk, the ginger's real spicy, and everything's super fresh. You know, fresh is when you're able to pick it and you're able to use it at the same time. I have a program here at Round Hill called See, Touch, and Taste, where we're able to take the guests to our organic garden. They get to see it, they get to touch it, and we bring it back to the kitchen and get to taste it. That's fresh. Now, when you working with the freshest ingredients and freshest product, it takes you to the next level. Why come to Jamaica? To experience the people, the culture, and the food. Because it is unbelievable when you're able to come to an island and get all those three things wrapped into one. It's amazing. And they got great beaches and sunshines here too as well.
We have come to the end of today's program. Missed aspects of our show? Then be sure to log on to our website, jis.gov.jm, to watch this episode and more. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.